Hello, and welcome to the Unit 7 test review. For questions 1 and 2, this histogram represents the height of children that live on Hickory Grove Lane. Number 1 asks us, how many children are represented on the histogram? Well, if we take a look at the histogram, the number of children is the height of this histogram. So, let's record the height of each bar, and we'll add them up to see how many children are represented. This first one, let's see how tall it is. It is 15 tall. The second one is 18. This one is 12. This purple one is 6. And this last one is 9. All right. 15 plus 18 plus 12 plus 6 plus 9 gives us 60 for 60 children. All right. Number 2. How many children are taller than 130.5 centimeters? Well, on this histogram, let's take a look at where 130.5 is. Looks like it's here. Taller is going to be on the right of it. That covers 2 of the bars on my histogram, which is 6 and 9. 6 plus 9 gives me 15 children. For questions 3 and 4, some students work as volunteers at an animal shelter. The table shows the number of hours each student volunteered during 1 month. Construct a dot plot to represent the data. Use the number line provided. When I'm deciding on what number to use to start my number line, I always look at the data that's given and use the smallest number. It looks like the smallest number here we have is 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here. And what's my largest number? 11. Let's see if I'll have enough space. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, if you have a number bigger than that, like now let's say we ended up at 20 or something, you could count the number line by 2s or 3s. So that's also a possibility. So keep that in mind. Always start with the smallest number though. Okay. Since 2 is my smallest one, I'm going to put, already did that. Let's put a little X above the 2. Now I'm going to just go through my list. It really doesn't matter the order in which I go. And I'm going to put X's for each hour's volunteer. Got 7 for Dave. 9 for Mary. 11 for Nellie. 8 for Ringo. 4 for Sharon. 5 for Mike. 10 for Steve. 6 for Ethan. 5 for Elsie. And 7 for Jocelyn. Okay. Number 4. Determine the 5-number summary of the data set above. Now, in order to do our 5-number summary, we have to organize our numbers from smallest to largest. Luckily, we pretty much did that with this dot plot. So I'm going to use it to write my numbers in order, and then we'll determine the 5-number summary. All right. I got a 2, 4, 2 5s, a 6, 2 7s, and 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 5-number summary. What I like to start with is the minimum and maximum because I think it's the easiest. The minimum is our smallest number, 2. The maximum is our largest, 11. Next, let's find the median. The median is the middle of our data. Okay, so I'm going to cross a number off from each side until I have 1 or 2 left in the middle. All right, it looks like I'm just going to double check that I did this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on each side. I got 7 in the middle. That's my median. Perfect. Q1 is the median of well, in this case, it's the left side, but it's the side with the numbers that are smaller. Let's find Q1. So we're going to use this side. I'm not using the median because it exists on my list. If we had an even set of data, I would just split my list in half, and I would use the left and right sides. All right, Q1. Looks like it's 5. Next, we've got Q3. Q3 is the median of the larger end. In this case, it's the right side. Looks like it's 9. Perfect. Now, if I was to draw a box and whisker plot, it would look like this. I'd have a line at 2, a line at 5. I'm following the number line up here. A line at 7, at 9, and 11. I got whiskers and a box. Perfect. All right, number 5. The data set, which data set is skewed to the left? Select all that apply, meaning there could be more than one answer. Let's go through these and see which is skewed to the left. Remember, if it's skewed to the left, that means our median is on the, our median is on the right side, which means our mean is on the left. So skew is about the mean and the location of it. When the mean is on the left side, it gives the hill of our, the spread of our data. It's more to, I lost the train of thought I was having. So, you know what? Let's just go through A, B, C, and D, and we'll talk about the spread of the data set. Okay, letter A. Letter A, I'm just drawing the little hill here. It looks like it's pretty symmetric. When something is symmetric, the hill of our spread is in the middle, and our mean and our median are about the same value. Maybe they're 1 apart, but not more than a unit apart. All right, let's take a look at B. B has the little hill of our data on the right side. This means this is skewed left. This means that the mean is more left than the median. The median is always where that top of the hill is. All right, well, letter B is one of our answers. Letter C. All right, it looks like our hill is on the left side. This is skewed right. It's skewed right, which means the median is right here with our hill, but the mean is somewhere there. It is on the right side of the median. Lastly, we have letter D. That one's also skewed right because the hill is on the left, which means this is the median and the mean is somewhere there. Okay, so number 5, there was only one answer. All right, number 6. The manager of a pet shop wants to compare the sales records of cats and dogs. The table shows the number of each pet sold for 11 weeks. Let's calculate the IQR and, we'll do that for each type of pet. Okay, dogs and cats, let's do it. In order to find the IQR, we're going to need Q1 and Q3 because IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 and Q1 are medians of the upper and lower half of our data set. So let's organize the dogs and the cats and find their quartiles. All right, let's do dogs here, and we'll do cats here. Okay, so first and foremost, let's organize our numbers from smallest to largest. I have my paper version of the answer key, or I guess of the review, right here in front of me. That's why I'm able to zoom in. You should be able to do this just, looking at your paper. We'll start with the smallest number for dogs is 1, then 2. There's 2 2s. Make sure to write them down both. 3, 5, 5, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Let's find the median. Now, I know I didn't mention us needing the median. That's because we don't. what we need is what we need the median for is to find Q1 and Q3. That just makes it easier. All right, so median. I'll use this green to cross them off. All right, 7's the median. Again, we don't need it, but we need to identify it. Okay, let's find Q1. To find Q1, I'm going to find the median of, for Q1, it looks like we have two numbers in the middle. When we have two numbers in the middle, what we do is we add those two numbers and divide the answer by 2. So we have 2 plus 3 in the middle, divided by 2. So Q1 is 2.5. Let's take a look at Q3. Q3 is the median of this side. And it looks like we've got two numbers in the middle there. Let's find out what Q3 is by adding the two numbers, so 9 plus 9, and dividing the answer by 2, which gives us 9. Now, if you're able to look at the medians and tell what they are, if you could tell that 2.5 is the median and that 9 is the median, that's great. But if you can't, there are certain situations where you can't just look at it and know the number. This is how we do it. Okay, let's find the IQR. Q3 is 9 minus Q1, which is 2.5. 9 minus 2.5 is 6.5. Now let's find the IQR for cats, and then we'll talk about what that means. Well, we'll compare them. All right, for cats. Again, I have my paper in front of me, so that's where I'm getting my numbers from. Okay, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 9, 10, 13. All right, let's find the median. Six is our median. Now let's find Q1 and Q3. All right, for Q1, looks like I have 2 in the middle again. So we're going to add the two numbers. Did you see that? I just wrote a 2. That's crazy. And I had 3 plus 4, and divide that by 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Let's find Q3. Looks like I have 2 in the middle again. For Q3, we're going to add those two numbers, 7 plus 9, which is 16. Divide that by 2, and we get 8. So for our IQR, we'll have 8 minus 3.5. Which equals 4.5. So what does that mean? How can we use those IQRs to understand anything about these scales? Well, the higher the IQR, the more spread out the data. So there's more variety to the data. It's a little less consistent. So the smaller the IQR, that means the data is more clumped together. It's less spread out. And the numbers are more consistent in this data. It looks like the cats have a smaller IQR, which means this pet shop seems to be selling cats a little bit more consistently. Alright, number 7. Calculate the mean and sample standard deviation. Now for the mean, we have two options. Either you can add up all the numbers and divide that answer by the amount of numbers on your list. This is what I mean. In your calculator, you would add 7 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 is 15. And you would divide that answer by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Divide that answer by 7. Or you could click Menu, then 633, then your control button, then the backwards parenthesis, and don't forget to use commas. Either way, you would get a mean of 11.14. To find the standard deviation, I have only taught you one way to do that, and that is using your calculators. Remember that standard deviation is kind of similar to the IQR in the sense that it talks about the spread of our data. Standard deviation, though, talks about how spread out is it based on the mean rather than the medians like IQR is. Anyways, we find the standard deviation by typing menu, 637, clicking the control button, then the backwards parenthesis, and of course, using commas. When I did that, I got a standard deviation of 2.79. Number 8. Which is the best measure of center? There are only a couple of measures of center, and on this list I only see 2. The only 2 measures of center for number 8 are mean and median. You can argue that mode is a part of it, but I would say mean and median are measures of center. Could you argue that mode is a part of it? No, you can't. Can you? I don't know right now. Let's just assume not. I don't know why I brought up mode all of a sudden. I think it's because I'm always thinking mean, median, mode. But yeah, the only 2 measures of center should be mean and median. Yeah, I don't know where mode came out of. Anyways, I was able to eliminate A and C immediately because A and C are spread. IQR, the interquartile range, and the standard deviation are measures of spread. Mean and median are measures of center. So let's find the mean and the median. The mean you can calculate in the two ways I gave you as an example on number 7, and we got a mean of 38.6. For the median, we could kind of do that here. The numbers are in order. We got 2 numbers in the middle, so what you would do, it'd be 31 plus 44 divided by 2. 31 plus 44 are 75. 75 divided by 2 is 37.5. Okay, so how would I decide which is the best measure of center? Well, we need to decide if the data is skewed or not. Skewed means there's going to be a decent difference between the mean and the median. And by decent, I mean 1 unit. So 38.6 minus 37.5 is 1.1. Unfortunately, that means our data is slightly skewed. In those situations, we are going to choose our mean as the answer. I circled median because it's the median. We don't choose our mean as our answer. What's going on? I don't know. Maybe, is it going to rain tomorrow? Or am I just tired? Let's see. Yeah, I'm just tired. There's no rain tomorrow. Okay, sorry about that. But the median is the best choice when the data is skewed. The only time we'd be using mean is when our data is symmetric, right? So because the mean is more than 1 larger than the median, I'm choosing the median. Number 9, determine any outliers for the set of data. So select all that apply. I said select all that apply because there could be more than 1. So maybe it's obvious to you and you know which ones to pick or which ones to pick. Which one or ones to pick. But if it's not obvious to you, let's do the formulas. In order to do the formulas, we need to find Q1, Q3, and the IQR. Okay, let's find the median because we need that in order to find Q1 and Q3. Right. Whoops. There we go. Alright, I've got 2 in the middle. Now, because I don't actually need my median, I'm just going to split my data in half. Alright, let's find Q1. There's my Q1. And then let's find Q3. There it is. Lastly, of course, let's find IQR. What color do I want it? Oh, let's just do it blue. To do IQR, we've got to do Q3 minus Q1. So our IQR is 44 minus 15, 29. All right. To see if we have any numbers that are too small for our data that are outliers on the lower end, we do this formula. We do Q1 minus our IQR times 1.5. To find out if we have anything too big for our set of data, we follow this formula. Q3 minus our IQR times 1.5. Both of these can just go straight into your calculator, but let's write it out. So I've got 15 minus 29 times 1.5. When I put that into my calculator, I got negative 28.5. So do I have anything on my list that is smaller than negative 28.5? No. Okay. For upper fence, I got 44 plus 29 times 1.5. When I put this into my calculator, I got 87.5. Do we have anything on our list bigger than 87.5? We sure do. It's 100. All right. Number 10. Predict which of the data sets has a lower standard deviation and explain your reasoning. Lower standard deviation means that there is a smaller spread. That means the data is more clumped together. So, which of the data sets here looks more clumped together? Data set B. Let's write down why. Data set B, because the data on the dot plot is more clumped together, aka less spread out. Than data set A. Less spread out means lower standard deviation. Number 11. The table below compares project scores of students in two classes. Determine the appropriate measure of center and spread for each data set. Explain your reasoning. Okay. Let's take a look. Miss I don't know how I would pronounce that class. The two measures of center that we could possibly have and that would help us determine what spread to use are median and mean. Alright, so we're looking at the data and spread for each data set. So we're looking at each class individually. Let's start with Mr. G's class. Let's start with his median. To find his median, we could do this because the numbers are in order. 75 and 76. Alright, well, let's find out what's between 75 and 76. For that, we can do 75 plus 76, divide that answer by 2. That's 75.5. For our mean, what you could do is add up all the numbers and divide that answer by 24, because there's 24 numbers on the list, or you can do the menu 633 thing. I get 79.13. This means our data is skewed. There's a bigger difference between the mean and the median than just one. So this data is skewed. Use median and IQR. Miss Holland, let's see. Median. Right, we're between 79 and 79. If you're not sure what's between 79 and 79, let's calculate it. For that, you do 79 plus 79 divided by 2, and you would get 79. For mean, you would add up all the numbers, divide it by 24, or use the menu 633 option, which gives us 81.31. Just like Mr. G's class, this data is skewed. So we would essentially write the same thing. This data is skewed. Use median and IQR. Okay, perfect. That's it for the Unit 7 review. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your, well, whatever day it is for you. Bye.